Okay, this took a while to set up, but lords and ladies, welcome back to MyStreet 5 years later with your host, Jacob Butter, who is in Spain again. So, yeah, we came back late and I vastly underestimated the time it was going to take to actually set this up. You can't see this right now, but I have there's two desks there's like two like bedside tables in here, and I've moved both of them and shuffled them together. So I have one of them on one side, one on the other side, and I'm just like sat on the bed, still facing downwards, shrouded in darkness, because that's just the imposing aura that I possess currently. Ignore Mario. So yeah, but we are here. We're starting now. So, Too Late, Episode 8. The Day of Fate. Not quite. No, we haven't got there yet. But my goodness, this was possibly the most anticipated episode of MyStreet by virtue of how long it took to actually produce. At least at the time, it was the most anticipated episode. And interestingly enough, we've gone back to releasing two episodes in one single day, I guess, to compensate for the lack of MyStreet content other than side stories up until this point. I don't really know necessarily. Or it might just be that my time zones are off and that they both appear as September 29th and I just got the dates wrong. I don't think so. But here we are, just in case. I do vaguely remember one thing that came out at midnight or something, and then people said, "Oh, why didn't you do this?" I think that might have been a previous 5 years later episode. Not really sure. I'm sure that my guests can actually clarify any doubts that I might actually have, because I indeed have two guests today. So first of all, we have the person who has recently launched a brand new studio, link in the description. It's Ghostie.
Oh, hey! Yeah, I launched a brand new studio. There's nothing on it yet, but I'm planning on moving the content off my personal channel and putting it on there. Partially so I could have my personal channel, as my personal channel again.
Yep, that is the foresight that I did not have when starting the Mutant Girl, and it's been my biggest regret on YouTube ever.
It's
So I
it's
understand.
you constantly mentioning that you didn't make a channel for the Mutant Girl that prompted me to go ahead and create the Spirit Box.
Yeah, like if I knew what it was going to become, then again, if I knew it was going to become, then I decided to put it on a different channel, then potentially I would just like separated it entirely from everything else, and I would never have thought to create the Butterverse as an excuse for people to watch the other stuff on the channel.
Honestly,
Who knows what it would be? Yeah.
But yeah,
anyway,
Aiden, get the boy in here. Get the Aiden the West.
bring in the boy, of
Bring
course.
in the boy.
So, introducing the other guest for today, who I hope does not give away his entire thoughts on the episodes before we start reviewing, like he did yesterday. Our usual guest, Aiden the Best.
Okay, so what I think is
shut.
So,
Aiden,
yeah, and I did
Aiden,
think they came out on the same day
Aiden,
because
Okay,
just saying that is something that is, and I think it's just because they were meant to be one episode, but then Aphmau, while producing them, were like, this is gonna be like a 40 minutes long.
Yeah,
that
we
makes
can
sense.
split this into 2 episodes.
And indeed, we shall. If you're watching this on Twitch right now, then you're going to see the whole thing, and we'll do the intro twice like we normally do. But if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll just get like the part 1 and part 2 one day after each other, because I like now that I don't have to worry about watch hours, being able to produce things that aren't always
3 hours long.
Yes, never ending.
Honestly, Jacob, can I say something officially before we get started, other than the fact you have an imposing aura and it's legit the mood right now?
Yes, yeah, go on.
Monster Compendium has yet again been delayed due to technical issues.
Indeed it has. I don't think I've mentioned that on camera, but yeah.
You probably did, but my gosh, I'm so mad, and I've been spending the last couple of days just editing because there's nothing else I feel I can do about it.
There is no more Ghostie. only the editor.
Only the editor.
Okay, so people don't know what happened was a lot of the Filmora files that were being worked on for Monster Compendium became corrupted out of nowhere. The audio got salvaged, but the video didn't. Other than, unfortunately, there are still a few clips that were posted onto the Monster Compendium server, so not everything needs to be started from scratch, hopefully, but a lot of
Yeah,
it
not everything needs to be started from scratch, but there are a lot of scenes that I feel could be better worked on someplace else, but that's not why we're here. We're here for the MyStreet. I don't want to
Indeed.
talk about work. Let's talk about the other thing that
Let's
it
talk about
technically
the Aphmau
classifies at
woman.
work.
Let's talk about something else that was delayed for a significant amount of time.
Honestly,
Well-
that's just the vibe right now, isn't it?
Apparently so.
Wait, oh, are you in the Blues J Studios logo that only appeared once?
Well, this is the Aphmau logo, so and
I
the Blue Jay Studios logo actually appeared in the first episode of When Angels Fall.
I know it only appeared once though, is what I'm
But-
saying. Until
Oh,
now.
okay. I thought you meant
But-
historically. Okay.
By the way, speaking of the Blue Jay Studios logo, that was a good logo, good design. I loved it.
I like the
Yeah, see, it's Blue Jay Studios logo.
I like that logo. That will forever continue to be my favorite logo. I don't like the cat face logo.
Yeah, I don't like cat face as a concept at all because it sounds dumb. Cat face.
It's supposed to sound a little bit more, infantile and jovial.
Well, now it makes sense. But
where does Blue Jay come from? Where does Blue Jay come from, really, as like a name?
I don't know, but cat face sounds like it's pandering to children. And yes, Aphmau's
it
pandering
is.
to children now.
Right.
But when she changed it, she was like halfway through season 6. So okay, she wasn't pandering at that point. It makes sense retroactively, but not. But when it happened, it's weird. It's still strange.
I think it is just a case of, it actually matches Aphmau's personality as well. I mean, she even said so in the video, but it does make sense. It matches. For crying out loud, how many cat rider things has she done versus how many bird things? Blue Jay works better for Shorty, most likely.
I mean, Shorty hasn't even did that much for birds.
yeah, even then more with bunnies. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Bunnyhead Studios.
My branding has shifted towards the supernatural. It is the ghosts. A lot of ghosts.
Ghouls.
There's a haunted house in the channel banner.
To be fair, a lot of my theming is themed literally off of Angels, so Angel Light Studios.
and I didn't get to decide my company name. Someone did it for me, and I stuck with it.
I mean, you could rename it. I mean, that's fine, but
I could, but to be perfectly honest, it actually does probably fit more because actually the other name that I had was Red Herring, and the reason for that is because it was another bird thing. We were sort of emulating the feeling as the behind the scenes feeling of what Aphmau presented to the public as the company that was the image and the dream. So I thought, okay, different bird, but also Red Herring is something that is a clue that doesn't actually match, and it feels like it's connected, but it isn't. And that was the idea. But Buttercorp again, because of how things turned out with Blue Jay, makes more sense.
That and your company has the added the added side effect of sounding unusually slippery.
Of course.
Get it? Because butter?
Yes, that I don't know if that's I was trying to see we're gonna have a pro or a con for that. Anyway.
But it's not like you gave me a
I say it's a pro, other people might say it's a con.
Okay. Looking at this now, doesn't it seem like Hollow's missing half of his body? Michael's just sliced off half of his
No, he has it. He's just crawling. It's just the angle. It's
I know, like
yeah.
I'm saying it looks that
Well,
way.
it is just the angle, but yeah, it does look like his lower half was dismembered horribly.
Yeah, if he was aligned with that trail that trail there, you could assume that he was just bleeding out. Is that even a keyboard? That looks like maybe not. Okay.
Those are a keyboard. It shows on bits is a bit of keyboard.
I've waited far too long.
It doesn't even have any letters, so you could just assume that
I'm gonna assume there's one keyboard per layer that is there. either that or one layer is QWERTY UE op, the other one is Aztec, and the other one is like they're just going through, and that's how it's structured. For some reason, it's a 3D keyboard.
Like either that, or there's way too many keyboards to operate this one machine.
Yeah.
There's also a big red button somewhere.
I guess it's honestly it's bizarre that the Celestial Cannon, being such an old vicinity in the first place, even has an operating, piece of machinery to activate it, or to try to.
Like, to which case I bring up that the Celestial Cannon reminds me of one thing and one thing alone. Laputa, the ancient city kingdom floating in the sky from the Ghibli movies. It gives me those vibes, but written significantly worse.
I think they actually got that name from Gulliver's Travels. I think it's a floating city in that book as well.
Like, floating cities are probably like an ongoing theme in folklore.
Potentially.
For starting.
But yeah, the Celestial Cannon feels like Laputa, but written significantly worse. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the look of the Celestial Cannon.
Yeah.
But it comes out of nowhere and feels kind of too MacGuffin-y for my taste.
I'm reading Gulliver's Travels in primary school, and Laputa, unfortunately, the way that it is spelt and is enunciated in Spanish can actually be like it's like you hear it as like something rude. So the entire class was giggling every time we would read that name in the chapter. The teacher got annoyed.
That power you have. I've wanted it back for a long, long time. You see, I once had it too.
Oh, is that why you said you wanted it back? We couldn't have interpreted that. Okay.
Lavish amount of energy to use at my discretion. But my foolish son decided he wanted it for himself, and he took it from me.
And spoilers for MCD that never occurred.
I know that did happen. We did see that part.
What about this, like the whole stolen power? Don't recall that specifically.
Okay, so Travis and Irene went to the Demon Warlock dimension to kill him once and for all, and Travis ended up stabbing him and taking the relic away, killing him.
Oh, of course, yeah, they gave it to Alina. Yeah, that's right.
That did happen.
Yeah, which the one thing I remember from that exchange was, here, 3-year-old, have this relic that that have this source of evil that has unfathomable power to even people like 50 times your age.
Where it came from, and why it resonated with me. And you know what I eventually found? A diary about a man, his wife and son, and a comet and a cannon.
And there's the diary reference, although I guess a diary about a man kind of feels short-sighted, considering that presumably the man in question would have probably been Aaron, and the story of diary starts way before he has any contribution.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think he's referencing a completely different comment in canon.
I didn't say anything about the comment in canon. I said about the man. The diary.
The comment is something that we never see by the by.
Yeah. So again, I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about the diary and the man part. The comment in the canon is basically superfluous information because it never comes into anything.
Like, it wouldn't make sense if he said, "Oh, the man in the ancient diary" or something.
Yeah,
But as of right now, did Aphmau just start a new journal specifically about her relationship with Aaron, or
that's what season 4 was going to be after rescuing him from the clutches of Shad.
How many times did you
like
let
maybe, but
I
will
don't.
never happen.
I don't think Aaron ever came back to life. MCD Aaron specifically.
That's why I said season 4, because that obviously didn't happen. We didn't get round to rescuing him from the clutches of Shad. It just seemed to
No,
be
I
the story
mean,
was going in that direction.
no, I don't think that
Yeah.
ever happened. I think it was a tragic situation where a tragic body swap, where the person's body is being possessed, but their soul is still in there, and they have to watch as their bodies force
Yeah,
to do
I
horrible
wasn't
stuff.
actually serious
No.
about that.
Yeah, no, I'm
Like-
just saying I don't think Aphmau was ever gonna have Aaron be saved. I think the whole ending of the story took place at the canon, as we see in episode 12. My best guess is, since we saw Shad holding a sword up to Alina from the platform, and he was yelling at Irene. So my best guess is that eventually Aaron kicked in, got Alina away, and then had Irene turn on the cannon, causing reincarnation or something like that, or like killing Shad.
Maybe.
That's probably what happened,
Are
honestly.
you implying
from
the
what we
canon
know.
causes reincarnation?
Well,
Like,
it was
Aiden-
used for reincarnation.
like, all of this speculation is very nice, but I'm gonna quickly say something right here, right now. The big red button in the center of the keyboard is the goofiest design I've ever seen.
Yeah, it is. Well,
That is the least intuitive keyboard ever. Is the red button like space or something, or is it just aesthetic?
Imagine if you
In
just
which
if you
case-
misclick even once when you're typing.
Yeah, if you misclick even once, you could kill the whole of humanity on the planet.
Yeah, and actually,
Isn't-
some people just type like with the text appearing on the screen. They memorize where the keys are. So some people don't even look at the keys when they're typing.
ha.
Like, to which case, why couldn't you put the red button like to the side
Yeah, or
instead of in the middle of the keyboard?
just not on the keyboard at all. That also helps. In fact, that's what the enter key is for normally.
her use this?
Like, in which case, are you insinuating that the big red button is probably the enter key?
Oh my
Even
god.
then, it's positioned incorrectly.
Like, I'm just saying, like, all in all, it's a greatly designed build. I just question the placement of the big red button.
So do I. I mean, that's almost as bad as Jeremy apparently having Return to the Past be on the Enter key and only being activated by that one button push in in one particular episode.
Wait, what if someone just spammed Return to the Past? That would be horrific.
I am just what that is. That was an episode one time. But yeah,
Like,
I
wouldn't it
just
be
imagine.
funny-
Yeah, imagine if Jeremy had a big red button every time he did Return to the Past. We just see him just slam his fist onto the table. And it's a big red
Like,
button of the supercomputer
There's
and start the
there's
process.
just Odd Delarobio walking into the factory and he's like, "Oh, I'm failing science. Return to the past now." so he can retake the test as many times as he needs to
But
get
every
the
time he
correct
retakes the test, he
answers.
fails and just until he returns to the past.
Yeah, if that or Yumi is just like, you know what, Ulrich, I am fed up with you. Yumi, no, bam.
How many people did you let her bring?
To which case I say, I can't stop looking away from the red button. Its placement is just too goofy for me to get
All
over.
right. Well, I hope
It's
the
in
scene
the
will
middle
soon
of the
be over.
keyboard. I mean, I think buttons are under it too for some reason.
Yeah.
How many?
Yeah. There is specifically there's a joke in Dragon Ball Z Abridged where Dr. Briefs explains to Goku how a spaceship works, and he goes, "Now don't fiddle with the gravity controls or the start button. The start button. Don't touch the start button." Okay, bye. Just drawing. I mean, it was a big button in that too.
Any of her friends and family, did you let her trick?
It was a big button, but at least it wasn't in the middle of the keyboard.
How many people did you let Irene kill here? All I'm asking is...
I do like that he brings up the morally grey side of Irene that might be. I mean, he's unreliable because obviously he's the antagonist.
He's
Anything
just
anything
says
that he says,
yeah.
it's we take with a grain of salt. But even the mere possibility that like the legacy and the fables of Irene, if MCD had come back hypothetically, and we'd see like the progress behind that and like how much of it was actually true and how much wasn't. I mean, demythifying a figure that's supposed to be really perfect is something that I always particularly enjoy. I know that some people watching Legend of Korra don't seem to like that with the whole like Aang's kids thing, but I don't know. It's another example that sometimes works, sometimes doesn't, for depending on who you are.
Like, speaking of the celestial canon, I have a theory.
Yeah.
I'm asking for your permission to share it, so I don't just derail the stream.
Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead.
Because I'm not a big fan of derailing the stream, although it happens a little too often.
Yeah, we're on the first scene and we're 28 minutes in.
28 minutes in. Like, he mentioned a meteor, and I have a theory the purpose of the celestial canon, whenever it was built during the time of Irene or afterwards, was to stop meteors and other celestial bodies from hitting the Earth.
I mean, that makes sense.
To which case, I would have loved to see that in Diaries. Too bad we didn't see that in Diaries. I will forever hate Aphmau for that.
Was it kind of like, no, could it possibly been the final sacrifice that all the protagonists have to make at the end?
But I think, okay, but here's the thing, I think, with this. I'm pretty sure the Celestial Canons was stated to be a lot older than specifically MCD Aphmau. Like, I think this canon was made maybe before or around the time of actual Irene, or the original.
That doesn't mean they can't use it afterwards for Ghostie.
Yeah, I know,
driving.
but like
it just means it wasn't built by them.
That's what I assume when it was built or made in general.
Okay.
So yeah.
Sure.
Like,
right,
maybe then, to which I say, people needing to use this canon to prevent celestial bodies from hitting the planet could be kind of like a cyclical cycle of sorts.
Most cycles are cyclical, yes.
To be able to do the same thing.
Well, you're evil, so you know. And the world explodes.
You know,
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to watch a machine gobble some souls.
You know, it just occurs to me, why does like an alarm seem to go off whenever the button is pushed? Isn't it like, warning, the cannon is completing its function?
I think it's maybe going out of rest mode. I don't know.
Or it's an energy overload or something.
Irene's sword actually 3D modeled this time because it wasn't 3D modeled in the original.
And there's the island of Starlight that was built
up all season 5, but don't worry,
demolished. Yeah.
I mean, technically they went to the island as the Celestial Canon, but you know, they're not really.
That is true. Could you imagine Aphmau and Aaron's rushed wedding at the end, just like while fighting the demon warlocks? Like, we might not have another chance. Quick, Zane, you were a high priest in a past life. You're technically ordained. Quickly, do the thing.
Technically ordained. And Zane's just looking over like, I was what in my past life?
No time to explain right now. Just do it. Do you, Aphmau, Shalashashka, take Aaron Lycan to be your offered husband? Yeah, I do.
To which case, since we're paused on this frame, I'm gonna quickly direct your attention to the center of the Ferris wheel to what looks like a bee in the middle of that store.
I
Yeah.
think that's. I think that looks more like a Pac-Man ghost. Oh wait, no, sorry, the letter B. You mean? Yes. Okay. I thought you were talking about the animal bee for some reason. Yeah, it looks like a bee. You're right.
Why? Like, it would make sense to put an S there.
Yeah, maybe it was the second Ferris wheel they built. Did it say
A
Jerome?
Ferris wheel A.
That said Jerome in the back there. Did Jerome ASF have his own section of Starlight One?
That would be hilarious to think about.
Just all of Aphmau's YouTuber friends have their own section of the theme park.
But wait, wasn't she friends with Sky at this point though?
But yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In which case, that section of Starlight Wonderland needs to be promptly demolished.
I would love it if Jimbot Gaming's one, which is a Prison Break area.
Oh my god, that'd be horrific.
That's hilariously dark. Why did you do
We are missing all of the dialogue in this episode because we're talking over every line. I don't know what Kawaii-chan just said.
She's just freaking out because, you know, massive earthquake.
Oh, I know what she's doing. I understand that.
Wait, isn't the administrative building on the central island?
Yeah, it kind of gets destroyed.
I mean, Michael owns that building, so who cares, you know?
Well, yeah.
I don't.
Like,
Oh
we
wow! I
can
didn't know someone I fell
assume.
in the water there. Didn't realize.
And someone just is rushing to the. Someone rushed to the edge. He's not even hopping in to go help her. He's just standing
Hold
there.
on, is that Mr. Manley? I think that might be. I forgot what Mr. Manley looks like.
I don't think it's Mr. Manley.
Oh no, it's not. No, he looks more like Bob the Builder. Never mind. You know, I built up that line in my head, disappointed by my own actions.
An earthquake.
Don't you know your actions have consequences?
Mm-hmm.
Like, to which case?
It stopped. Aaron,
That is how earthquakes tend to work. Like, they don't last that long.
are you okay?
Most of the time, anyway. The bigger ones do.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Like, Jacob, can I make a really horrible joke?
Go on. I mean, I set the bar high with the Prison Break one, but go ahead.
Wow, an earthquake just happened. Would sure be convenient if someone decided to take a walk right now.
But an earthquake here?
Yeah.
Sent chills through my spine.
Well, you were on an island which assumably had volcanic activity at one point in its past.
Oh
Maybe.
god. But
The island could also be located on a tectonic plate. You don't know.
That is, yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like either one of these two looked at the website for Starlight Wonderland before they A, recovered from physiotherapy and came here directly, and B snuck in unaware.
yeah, but honestly, I think it's one of those things where I think it's like a weird supernatural sense they have. I don't know. It's either because they were both reincarnated, or B, because maybe the earthquake just felt weird because it didn't feel like a normal earthquake. Like they could physically feel something was weird about it, and not.
I know that they're
norm.
treating it like it's a normal earthquake. Although the Kawaii having chills on their spine, she is a magic user even in this universe. Or this incarnation, I mean. So that could be something that she's attuned to. But then again, we never. Have we heard of magics being used that way? Maybe. Don't actually know.
Like, no, actually, we haven't heard of magics in MyStreet.
I mean, yeah, we haven't heard the term magic, so it's sort of like blend into witchcraft eventually.
Let's hope not.
Maybe.
Should we stay here?
Move,
Whoa!
go,
What?
leave, run. Why are you still here? Move, walk, 1 foot in front of the other, proceed, advance.
Proceed. Let's go. Out the door. Go.
Andale.
Go now. You're in. Like, might I say, don't go that way. You're in view of the patrol boat.
Ah.
Who said the MyStreet characters are smart, though?
Oh, probably me on a few occasions, but not this
Like,
episode.
This is the one season in which the characters have been intuitive and intelligent.
Most of them. There's also Derek.
Most of them.
Derek is stupid.
Mhm.
At least Zane has been smart.
Yeah.
It's odd. The more I'm realizing this, the more I'm realizing that Zane is the most consistent MyStreet character.
That is true. In fact, actually, someone pointed out that he was the only regular human to end up in like the heat of the final battles and everything. So yeah, he's consistent by physiology and by his brain.
All hail High Priestess.
High Priestess. High Priestess.
All hail High Priest Zane. May he live forever.
Well, he actually goes by.
Trust me, I attempted to.
No. Here's the thing. He goes by High Priestess when he's wearing one of the princess dresses from Aphmau. He's a High Priestess then.
Oh, yeah.
Then he's the high. Then he
Anyway.
considers himself the High Priestess. It's mostly during the
Let's
roleplay, though.
There's someone on the roof.
I don't know.
all the
Helicopters.
TVs
Helicopter.
I
Helicopter.
I feel like that person would have probably evacuated by now, considering that an earthquake just took place. Like,
I
feel
mean,
like
I think he
Aiden-
would fall off.
Worst place to be.
Actually, he'd probably fall off.
Yes.
Falling.
Exactly.
Aiden, that's exactly what I'm bringing up.
Hmm.
in the house were replaced when we dropped off the sword.
Good. Is the footage ready?
The video is being edited down as we speak.
Okay, I'm going to put a pin on that line. Remember that he said that, because I brought this up a couple of times. I was going to make a whole theory video about this and never actually did, but that line's important. I'll bring it up later.
Broadcast it to the entire house as soon as it's ready. Make sure he sees it.
Did he just say
And
to
but-
broadcast it to the?
Yes, to the entire
Did he
house.
just
Make
make a
sure
broad-
that he sees it. Assume that he is inside of a house and has regular access to television, despite the fact that we're hunting him.
I think the assumption is that they have some sort of cameras, or at least he personally has cameras in there that maybe heat or something to scan for
Like,
heat
if he has-
signatures.
If he had all of that, they would have been caught ages ago.
No,
and they wouldn't
but-
have had to have done raids.
Okay, no. Here's the thing. They don't want to catch him in the house right now. Michael's plan.
Oh, what? They didn't want to catch him in the house earlier in the season before this was even put into motion.
No, I mean, I'm saying the cameras are new.
Since-
I'm saying the cameras are a new concept in the house when they put the sword and the TVs in on purpose. So if Aaron showed up there, they can use that to drive him insane. So he'll be good when they have to use him to make a relic. If they catch him now, his mom may
If
or
they
may
did-
not
if they
still be
did that,
alive.
If they did that, then it's a very lucky guess that he happened to go back to the same house, because that was a time that they debated doing a couple of times. I mean, Aaron, of course, himself was in favor of that, but there's no way Michael would have known that he would go for that plan necessarily, like him
Yeah, but
specifically.
it's just, I just think, again,
Sir,
his plan
what
only
about the
works if
tremor?
they
Like-
drive Aaron insane.
His plan works if you
Yeah,
don't think about it.
Should we evacuate
No,
the
if
compound?
they have to drive him insane first before they capture him.
No, actually,
I understand his motivations, Aiden. I get that point. I'm saying that logistically, they had to make a lot of assumptions to make it work.
Nice.
Yes, Aiden. They
Right.
had to make a lot of assumptions, like he would go back to that house, even though they've already tracked him down there and have snuffed him out of that location.
That he would happen to be in a room that a TV is in at the same time as this was going on. I mean, maybe there's cameras in there, but there's nothing to really imply that in anything else that happens later. Then again,
That
never
he
stopped me
wouldn't
making theories
take a-
before, so you could be right.
That, I don't know. He wouldn't have taken a couple of minutes to take a nap. I mean, he has been being pursued for the last couple of days.
Well, to be fair, if he were to take a nap, he would probably have to have someone else with him, or have to be in a very secure location. Because if
He
not,
has kawaii.
well, they don't.
He has
well,
a kawaii
yes,
with him.
but I mean, if she wasn't there, he wouldn't be able to technically take a nap.
So,
again-
but by your explanation, they would already know that Kawaii-chan's there too, because the cameras that you said that would be there.
Yes.
Yes.
Of the flight
This makes Aiden, you trying to explain why the plane makes sense
No,
also doesn't
well,
make sense.
Look, I just assume that he has more knowledge than and that he's not jumping on, because again, if he just wanted to capture Aaron, he could have done that a lot easier than
Didn't he
he's
try
letting
twice?
on. Not really. I mean, yeah, they raided the house, but they were
Like,
under the assumption if Aaron escaped when they had a chance to kill Melissa, they did it to.
I don't know.
or-
Didn't one soldier under Michael's control fire at a wall that we saw was flying against the wall? If Aaron had not been positioned behind where Melissa was, that would have been game over.
True, but
I don't
yeah,
think they
no.
thought every part of this through necessarily. It's not nearly as bad as season 5's
Have my
plans.
helicopter ready. It won't be long now.
Okay, positive thing. I do love the way that the camera is actually like leading the way, and we're following behind, with Michael very much controlling the motion of everything.
We'll be ready for liftoff at a moment's notice, sir.
It gives them a good domineering energy right now.
Yeah. Also, if they set this up as a CMD cam, that is kudos to them, because my
We'll
goodness.
finish all the preparations.
CMD cam is really hard to work with. Yeah, it's CMD cam.
Okay.
You want to know how I can tell?
Because of the way that it gets like certain waypoints, then carries on at different paces slightly.
Yeah, that and sometimes CMD can be a little bit buggy within the game itself.
Yeah.
Somehow, for some reason.
I mean, I can sort of see why, but yeah. Love the detail of the hair there. Dramatic irony again. And a transition into Travis, because we still don't quite know how exactly Michael and Terry are connected to each other at this point. And we have mentioned before that Michael actually had a son. And if you know from MCD, of course, that was the original Travis. So the question, of course, would be what we're supposed to think of in that particular moment. But there's no exact concrete answer yet, because it only makes sense on a second viewing, which, of course, I love when something makes sense on a second viewing.
Travis, what are you doing?
Might I say, this is the MyStreet season with the most rewatch value per capita.
I don't know if this is necessarily that's true, but then again, depends on like what tone of MyStreet you probably prefer to have.
Here.
Like maybe, like in this era of MyStreet, this is the most rewatchable season.
Okay, yes, yeah, because I was saying like the
compared to Emerald Secret, which on a rewatch made me realize that the mystery is actually very terrible.
Yes. And people constantly complain to me pointing that out.
Meanwhile, my favorite season to rewatch and the more lighthearted tone of MyStreet is season 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say because season 3,
which used to be a mid-tier season, but has risen above and beyond, and has actually made me laugh on a few occasions.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, even the Cinema Sins video of season 3 actually like made me laugh out loud at one point, to the point where I actually like woke my mum up late at night by accident, because I couldn't actually contain like the moment that I saw like you actually wrote down Eshka guy into the script.
I just needed to stop to rest and collect my thoughts.
I need to stop and rest standing up.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine.
Why can Travis take a nap, but Aaron can't?
Well,
Yeah, Caitlin's probably more protection than Kawaii-chan is. Or maybe not, actually. Kawaii-chan did beat up Garth and Lawrence at one time.
technically, Travis isn't being actively pursued by people. Aaron and Kawaii-chan are.
Actually, oh my goodness, I
Like,
just realized something. Like all the times that Caitlyn has like been like outwardly aggressive, like technically speaking, Kawaii-chan having like been able to pummel Gareth and Lawrence at the same time as each other, it sort of like outperforms Caitlyn in the physical department. Can you imagine if they actually at some point had a physical confrontation? It just turns out Kawaii-chan is like surprisingly strong, and it just cuts away to Caitlyn like being nursed back to health by Aphmau. Just like, what?
I mean,
I don't know what happened. What was that? Where did that come from?
No, realistically, Kawaii-chan wouldn't be as strong as Caitlyn because she wasn't forever potion induced.
So, well, okay,
like,
but Gareth
to
was.
which case
To
which case I say, Aiden, to which case I say, yeah, Aiden, by technicality, Kawaii-chan has shown more raw feats of physical strength.
She has shown a single feat of physical strength.
Yes,
you take that one feat and versus everything else, and it's like, wow, she's so strong. And again, I'm gonna say it like this: tonally speaking, that whole scene was under a comedic guise.
Oh yeah, the hypothesis I was giving was like it was going to be like one of the early seasons, like a comedic moment where it's like
because like if we're having a legitimate,
oh my goodness,
if we're having a legitimate fight, like listen, okay,
no, I don't think Kate and Kawaii-chan like even under like these situations would have a legitimate fight, maybe like under mind control situation, but like it would never come to blows under serious circumstances between them. It would just more be like the classic back in the day Caitlyn, like where she was like, that's it, Lucinda, fight me. But obviously not Lucinda this time.
Like, to which case I say, Aiden, it was not 1 feat of physical strength, it was like 3 feats of extended physical strength. Kawaii-chan is canonically very strong.
Oh yeah, she did deadlift Reese by herself while he was unconscious into her room. I
actually like to imagine, instead of deadlifting him, she dragged him slowly up the stairs and just hear him bump, 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 bump.
Like,
bump
to which case
requires a lot of strength to
as she's slowly
lift a
pulling
human
him
like
across,
that.
and I think that'd be hilarious. Bump.
Okay.
Like, what I think would have been a story opportunity for Kawaii-chan would be to, take her trait of physical strength from the more comedic portions of MyStreet and move into the more serious ones. Like, maybe under duress she does have the physical strength to defend herself, but she chooses not to use it.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out in a second.
Heck, though, I'm not sure what we'd need from here.
I have a plan. I just
a bed.
Need a moment.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't trust him going up that staircase. There's no railing on it.
Yeah, this whole resort is an OSHA violation waiting to happen. There's no railings anywhere. I haven't seen a single ramp.
You know what? My headcanon is that every time the OSHA shows up to do an inspection, Michael hypnotizes them to give them perfect score.
Right. What now?
You need to let me in.
Isn't that what I've been doing? I'm working with you to get Caitlyn and I off this island.
I love how like the hair on the side and the back is just the same texture.
Need more.
What do you mean?
Honestly, that was always a thing with his skin, even the Minecraft Diaries version, and I hate it so much.
I just noticed it because
I absolutely despise it.
Stay here. You'll be rescued and off this
If
island soon.
Travis wasn't such a compelling character with a solid emotional arc, I would hate him because of his doofy hairstyle alone. Like, what is that?
Good thing the only person who points it out is Abby.
And you.
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean? Jacob isn't a real person. Jacob's all in our imaginations.
Travis?
Yeah, I'm actually a MyStreet character. I'm...
Wow, Wow, I can't believe I've been having schizotypal hallucinations for the past few years.
I'm secretly the actual eternal divine warrior. I am Jacob, the reviewer. I evaluate the continuity and the timeline, and I search for flaws and I praise what goes well.
sorry about that.
Travis, your eyes.
And also, the reason I don't have a reincarnation in MyStreet continuity is because Irene didn't like me that much because I was constantly pointing out flaws.
What's wrong?
To which case, there are quite a few, like a button in the dead center of a keyboard.
Which is why I'm
I don't
still
care
here.
who made.
They're white. Did something happen?
I mean, they're
No,
more
they're
like
not.
gray. They're more like
that-
gray, man. I
yeah,
mean,
That line
okay.
always bothered me. I mean, even in the mini games, Travis says he's a natural grey. How does Caitlin not realize this? It's not like he's Herobrine.
We just
Like, to which case, that would have been a, like, nice throwback to Herobrine.
I guess, yeah.
right here. My dad is sending soldiers to clear our names and take us off the island.
Yes, your dad, the businessman, has military contacts. That is not. That is a loaded sentence. If he's connecting the two of them now.
Travis.
Travis Big's dead.
Need to lay down for a second.
He was just punched in the gut by his astral self. You need to give the man
Yeah.
some time.
My astral kidneys.
Help you.
Hey guys, Jess here, and I'm excited to announce that our wolf plush, our squishy, is finally
Oh
out.
yeah, wait.
I'm
When we do
excited
ad
about it.
breaks and the Mutant Girl, we need to have you be on screen, Jacob. Hey
Yeah.
guys.
I've already come to terms with this.
Please check the description down below for
Exactly.
more information.
Yeah. What I love is that whenever it gets to this point, whenever like in the Aphmau streams, where she's watching these back herself, she always like cringes at herself and like yells over the top of it. Actually, kind of like you do at the end of your shows.
I'm cringe, okay? Listen.
Like, Yeah, I was planning on having a segment at the end of Monster Compendium, the pilot thanking the voice actors, but then I realized, oh gosh, my voice. Do I really want to ruin my own project for me?
I mean, I like your voice. Your voice is cool.
I mean, if
I sound like a teenager, Aiden. I'm 23.
Well, I don't know if I sound like a teenager or not, but I don't let that
Yes, you
stop
do.
me.
trust me, when you're trying to get roles in at those in a gacha series, sound like a teenager is actually a blessing.
Let's come back because I have to. Okay, alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and stop with that. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Take care. Bye.
I love the cave
See,
set, by the way. The
it's not the kind of
cave
person
set in
who's-
this season was so good.
Yeah, I'm just realizing that trying to look at that waterfall. Looks like it's going to the side, but no, it doesn't. It was an illusion. Alright, it's time to go into the Bat Cave. I mean,
Oh
Bat
my
Cave.
god.
Can we hurry up?
Sorry it's taking so long. I'm just making sure we take a longer way to cover our tracks.
How bad is he hurt? Can you tell me anything else?
I wasn't able to tell. I left immediately to find help the moment he came back.
Can't you sniff him, Aphmau? You have a werewolf snoozer now. Use it.
Well, I mean, technically she would be sniffing him because he was canonically here. He's just not here anymore. Maybe the scent will be faint, but you know.
So, well, there you have it. There's a faint scent, and she has the means and the motive. So go ahead.
She has the means and the motive, and even then, the scent being fate would kind of tip off Aphmau to the fact he's not here right now.
Yeah. Although I hate
This is
although-
one of
although
the
this one-
Aphmau being a werewolf is actually a story contradiction.
Well, yeah, but okay, so in the upcoming interaction, it's not even mentioned that she's a werewolf, and that would have been such a great thing to mention.
Yeah,
But
Aphmau
I
is-
also have a problem where in the previous episode, when she walked off with Dottie, her ears were showing, her ears and tail were out. But then we cut to this episode, and all of a sudden, her ears and tail are gone, and she hid them again. I was kind of hoping she'd have them be showing it.
That is weird, admittedly. Not exactly an error necessarily, because we have had a bit of a time
They
time
never
jump.
respected Aphmau when she became aware, and they respected Aphmau as a werewolf. She never shows her
Jacob.
ears, and it's frustrating. Even during the very end of the season, she never gets out her ears. She's not a human.
Well, I think
Like,
it's also
but
because
that's
she regrets the transformation. She's using the power because she has it because like it's survival. But after that talk with Sylvana, while the few actually good things that she does, she puts that into perspective and realizes, oh my goodness, I should not have done this.
Yeah, but she's a werewolf, and what's done is done. She can't change that, so she might as well.
Yes, she can.
Well, okay, she needs Aaron for that, but like, listen, okay, it's been stated with your werewolf ears and tail out, it makes you more powerful. So I mean,
she doesn't
again,
feel like she needs power right now, like right this instance. Maybe
yeah,
eventually.
but
Yes.
later in this scene, she should take them out, or
that's very true. Later in the scene, she really needs it. You're right.
Or she should take out her ears and tail in episode 15 when she fights a literal demon. Like, I'm just saying, it makes more sense.
She takes out wings at that point. That's more powerful.
Well, wings and a tail. Werewolf.
Oh my goodness, we missed Daniel's first line twice. Hold on a second.
Gotta tell Aaron. Gotta tell Aaron.
I don't like the VA change here.
Well, I mean, I honestly, it's better than I remembered it. I think I was possibly a little bit too harsh back in the day after I heard about the Exodus happening, and then I realized, okay, this is not as good imitation because like you're missing a lot of like the gravitas of Daniel, like trying to get like the nasally side of him. That was part I was missing, but like everything else, like the actual tone and like softness. Whoever did this, right? I forgot the name of the new Daniel VA, but they did a better job than I remembered. For that one line, I say. For the rest of it, we don't know.
Like, to which case I say, like, yeah, it's not that bad. But, might I say, with the mutant girl, you switch out VAs all the time. So, let's face it, it could be worse.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to complain about that. In fact, yes, I'm very lax on that deliberately. Like, a lot of the time, like, mostly what I care about is matching the tone. If people can actually like project like the same personality, they can bring like something, their own unique performance to the characters. I'm a lot more relaxed in that department. I'm not looking for a perfect imitation, which is just as well because I don't think people could, for the current Mutant Girl auditions, not sure if they could pull that off necessarily. Speaking of that, we're actually fast approaching the era of MyStreet, where I was actually doing reactions to MyStreet itself as it came out, while also promoting the Mutant Girl. It was like a brief cross section. They seem like two different eras, but they actually they'd like overlap for a brief moment in time.
Aphmau?
We're not there yet, though.
What are you guys doing?
Daniel.
It's weird for me to say this, but he sounds a bit closer to Harvey than he does to Sean, which I guess to people who've seen Fallen Angels, that makes sense as to what I'm going for.
Like, he sounds like Daniel, but if Daniel had a head cold mid-season.
Hey, Aphmau.
It's like, sorry guys, I have a stuffy nose. But we still need to film the season, so
Yeah, I mean, I guess, don't make your videos do the thing you wouldn't be able to do yourself. And Aphmau did record the first episode of MyStreet while sick, so.
To see Aaron. She wants to see how he's recovering from his wounds. Alpha's orders.
Oh, I can take her from here to see him.
How's he doing? Is he okay?
He's not doing well. I'll go take you to him.
Let's go.
Dottie? Dottie! Let me take her. Remember what...
This is a very smart plan on Daniel's behalf. Just a shame he had to actually emphasize it twice, because he did just offer it for a second. And that would have been like a more subtle way of like the exchange happening, but I guess it was worth repeating. I don't know.
What Alpha said? You should be outside looking for more werewolves. Don't worry. I'll take her to see Aaron.
Okay. Don't worry, Aphmau. Everything is going to be okay. Alpha is really looking forward to seeing you again. See ya.
She isn't wondering who this Alpha is.
I mean,
there's a lot of
from their perspective, Alpha means Aaron, because that's who they used to call Alpha. They're being very careful with their words here, or at least, well, the script is being careful with the wording.
Like the script is, but everybody else is being as subtle as a hard-boiled
Everyone's
rock.
just acting off. It's like, okay, I'm gonna be like, what's going
Like
on?
everybody is acting off except for like a Daniel who just got a new voice actor and sounds like he has a like nasal infection.
Yes. So Daniel sounds off. The rest of them actually are. Get out of here right now! Run! 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 Run!
You gotta go.
To which case,
You gotta go, girl.
to which case, I will say that Aphmau kind of missed an opportunity here to have Daniel lead her to another part of the cave and be like, "You need to go right now."
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
You need to go.
Close enough.
No! I need to see Aaron.
Aaron is not here. Ian took over the camp. He's waiting there for you.
Oh god, this music.
Like,
Yeah,
to which case, having this to which case, I will say this: having this conversation in the cave after Dottie just left probably isn't the smartest idea on Daniel's part.
Yeah, the sound could probably travel to where Dottie can still hear it, with or without werewolf ears, because of how echoes happen in caves. Then again, this is MyStreet we're talking about. No one can hear anything unless the plot demands it.
Control. He's been waiting for this.
Aaron, you weren't lying.
No, of course he wasn't lying. Like, I mean, I know that people didn't believe him because they thought that he might have been like traumatized or delusional, or someone just looked like Ian. He wasn't. No one ever thought he was like lying about it.
I would have changed that to Aaron. You were right.
You were right. There we go. Yes. Same idea. Great minds.
Something
Like,
similar.
Did Aphmau think he was lying this whole time?
I don't think so.
Implies that she did.
I just think Aphmau just did a dumb and wrote the line in a terrible way to make it seem like because Aphmau never gave the implication that she thought he was lying. She just didn't believe him.
Please, everyone. They're listening to everything he says. They're worshiping him.
Kind of creepy. Actually, very creepy.
That's the point.
If you go there, he'll take you too. We have to go get help.
Aphmau, don't do it dumb. Aphmau did it dumb.
You know, this.
Okay, the Aphmau, the character did it dumb, not the writer.
Yeah. This might be Aphmau's werewolf instincts kicking in right now. You know,
I think it's that, but I also think it's like an old habit of Aphmau coming back in a way. Because like, if you look at the early seasons of MyStreet, a thing about Aphmau as a character is like she got angry and frustrated a lot easier than and stuff like that. That happened on occasion in early MyStreet, but as time went on, that dissipated completely, and where we didn't really get any angry scenes of Aphmau or something like that, where like she wouldn't get angry or have like these angry rants over like competition or being like super competitive. That whole completely disappeared.
Okay,
so
the competitive thing I understand, but the angry thing is a little bit different. That's maybe a Phoenix Drop High trope, not trope, trait, because that was when she was like encountering most of her confrontations against people who only seem to respond to violence and threats. Within actual MyStreet, yeah, she has her competitive nature that eventually like gets stripped away from her as time goes by, but that's a little bit different to the anger side of things.
Well,
because I mean, she's not going to challenge Ian to a foot race or anything right now. No, she's going for blood.
Kill him. I will always love you.
You never made me happy.
She didn't see that part. She didn't see the part of him on the ground there.
I love you, Aaron. I'll wait for you.
I think this is just representing like all the pain she feels. And,
no,
like,
I understand that. It's just like
happening.
everything else she was there to witness. It's just that one moment. Like everything else works.
Yeah, but still.
I feel like she can imagine that, though. I mean, she did see the blood on the floor when she walked up to that area of Ian. So she does know he landed there, and she does know there's a lot of blood.
Aphmau engages detective mode.
Daniel.
Aiden, I will also say this.
Yes?
Like, Aphmau may be getting furious right now, but another trait is that Aphmau is smart. Her doing this is a rather dumb move on her own part. She's deliberately walking into danger. She knows he's taken over the cave and probably has control over the werewolves because he does have access to forever potions, which is something she knows very well.
That's why I think this is the werewolf side of her actually kicking in. We might not see it. We might not physically see the ears and tail right now, but you know, the drive, the essence of being is there.
I need to face him.
The essence of being is there, but it is dumb.
Well, I mean, yeah, but sometimes when it comes to emotions, you're not exactly thinking logically. Like, okay, here's the most logical plan I could have. It's like, no, sometimes it's done on impulse or like, or you feel like. Because keep in mind, Aphmau as a character never actually got Ian back for what he did to her.
Didn't you, hold on, didn't you complain yesterday when we watched the Music Freaks that people didn't act logically?
Okay, yes, true, but this is anger. Okay, this is anger / trauma response specifically. That wasn't a trauma response to our knowledge, unless.
Okay,
it was an anger response because it is Xander, but you know, maybe not trauma. Okay.
Yeah, not a trauma.
Okay.
This is a
You know
pure
what
trauma response. We love
You know-
trauma.
You want to know what I say to that, Aiden?
Yes.
Sure, Jan.
Okay, but no, seriously though. I mean, you know, Aphmau never got Ian back as well. When you think about it, like Ian, she never actually got to pay Ian back at all. This is her chance. It may go horribly wrong, but this was her chance.
You know, she's got her one shot. She's not going to miss her chance to blow.
He hurt so many people. He took me. He made me his plaything. It was his fault. I won't let him do it again.
But
He made you dress in a silly outfit and stab someone multiple times.
I could actually hear like the gritting of the teeth from Jess in the recording booth.
I know that was an excellent line delivery.
Yeah.
But I will say, yes, he made you his plaything. He also made you dress in a silly outfit and stab Aaron multiple times.
Well, I mean, that was implied.
That's how people do that with their playthings.
I won't let anyone.
Yes, I do remember when I was younger when I used to make my Barbies murder each other.
Well, did you? Because, you know...
No.
Sometimes you do that with your toys. Sometimes they, like, go... and they, like, fight each other or something. I never really did that because I always did, like, this massive, weird, elaborate story of my toys where they're, like, in some competition where they're fighting for their lives in like this contest of champions played by the game master or whatever. I don't know. It was weird. But point being, I always had a story.
Honestly, Aiden, the worst thing I did when I was a kid was have a bunch of Barbies do a cult roleplay.
What?
I'm Midsummer Barbie. Come on, Aphmau, time to step now. Ooh.
I'm going with you. I won't let you go alone.
Daniel, you don't have to.
Yeah, no, he knows. He's supporting you.
No. He hurt my friends.
We're gonna kill Ian. I'm gonna kill Ian. So I'm gonna be in Ian's grave. I don't know.
I will leave him beaten.
Okay, I will say this.
Leave the wolves to eat him. Sorry, gone.
Daniel, pick Aphmau up and carry her away. You know this is a bad situation and that she should not be heading into this, but you're letting her do it for the trauma response, a poorly timed trauma response. Just pick her up and leave. She's
Aphmau, I-
canonically very small.
I understand what you're saying right now, but there's one thing you didn't account for. I'm a fully grown elf and you're a short queen. Yoink!
To which case, I would have said, that is a smart response. That would have been a smart response. Like, just get her out of Dodge, because this is a terrible situation.
Speaking of terrible situations, my camera's broken now. Great.
Stood up to him once
Ooh,
before.
Frozen Jacob.
It's time to put him back in the hole he crept out of.
No, leave! Leave like smart and intelligent individuals, please.
I think it's too late.
In this episode? No. We don't do that anymore.
Intelligence for the weak, man.
It's quite clever to have like all of this like go off screen and just like the sound mixing in general, because you can imagine all of the hardships they're going through. We don't need to see every single punch necessarily.
I think it would look goofy if we showed every single punch, to be fair.
Well, yeah, because you can't show it at that speed anyway, because Minecraft.
And also because YouTube.
That too.
Captain of the Guardian Forces. I've heard so much about you.
Like the fact that you're captain of the Guardian Forces and almost nothing else.
Say, I'm glad I'm so popular.
We know
around here.
next to nothing about you as an audience. We have not been given a reason to care about your well-being.
I feel like we haven't learned at least a little bit about him. We know about his family.
Oh my goodness, why is this camera so much better than the... Oh, it's because it's angled differently so it gets the light source. Yeah, this is the integrated camera. So we're back to like 720p, Jacob.
To which case I say stick with the integrated camera. It has so much light to it.
Man, you're not a little dark
ominous.
gremlin anymore.
Yeah, frankly, I'm surprised. I had to test the other camera out later because I'll probably be back in this position at some point.
Well, one of us needs to be submerged in darkness, so I need to find...
Ghostie, don't do it! Ghostie, no!
Wow, okay.
Now you're the little dark gremlin, Ghostie.
For all we know, Aiden could be the dark gremlin right now. We don't know what his light setup is like.
I think my lighting's decent.
Oh, okay.
Sass him more. Make him...
Get comfortable.
Make him angry.
You're not leaving this place.
Oh yeah, kill me then. Kill me.
Well, if you insist, Avada Kedavra.
Listen, okay. Do not taunt me with Death Universe. I will scream back at you and say, try it. You can try.
Like,
and if I fail, I don't care. It's not healthy, but you know.
Ian just torturing me. My character. Like, looks up at Ian. I've heard so much about you. Harder day.
that would be
Ian
something I would do.
Okay, I haven't heard that about you. That's a new thing.
Hit me where it hurts. I love
because
pain.
I've learned from multiple sessions of Dungeons and Dragons, if you say that to a character that is torturing or imprisoning you, it will 9 times out of 10 stun them for at least a minute for you to be able to escape.
Okay, super effective.
Advice on my equipment. The rest of my unit has been following my movement. They will descend on this cave with brutal force.
Don't tell him that.
Well, I mean, yeah, listen, okay, he's just trying, I mean, he can't really buy for much time, so he's like, hey, my unit's coming to save me. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?
Yes, you're captain of the Guardian Forces. Exactly.
But do you know who I am?
Well, apparently I know so much about you, but I'm not going to elaborate.
Don't know! Do you?
No one knows. Except for Michael.
No one is coming.
I and Michael.
Yours anymore. They belong to someone far more capable. Someone that will use them better than you ever did.
What are you talking about?
The man that made all of this happen. The man that called you here. The one man in this world that is worthy of respect. Michael. One.
Love how he doesn't even include Zach in that sentence, like his own father. Like he knows that.
Nah, he don't respect Zach.
I mean, Zach doesn't respect him, so I guess it goes both ways.
Eh.
Your men
Daddy
were all
issues.
forced to meet him, and he's really good at convincing people to do what they're
Remember,
told.
Aiden? Technically, Zach is not his half-father, because that would make him and Aphmau half-siblings.
Oh yeah, that was
Wasn't that such a
retconned.
great
Never
red herring?
mind. That's
It was a
not
red
canon
herring that was supposed to
anymore.
be resolved somewhere else.
I'm
Just
really
be like,
angry.
like Aphmau, what are you doing?
How did them being half-siblings slip through the creative pipeline to begin with?
I don't think it slipped. The problem is I don't think it slipped through the thing. I think Aphmau just wanted to do that, but then long after the fact realized that was a horrific mistake. So to rectify it, she tried to
didn't say anything. I don't know.
She literally tried gaslighting everyone in the comments, being like, "Oh, that was a red herring." Like,
No,
wait.
You know what I say to that?
Redcons, redcons, they're bad for me and you. Redcons, redcons, next time think your story through.
Dang, you're really embracing that gremlin role you took on.
One of these days, I will record that jingle.
You don't
Probably
understand,
when I get back
Aiden.
home.
The fact that they were like pseudo confirmed siblings, and then have it be retconned with Aphmau going at least a couple of weeks without understanding why what she did between them was a bad thing. It makes me violently angry. Like, I know it's an established anime trope for siblings to be a little too into each other. But Aphmau, you're writing a Western anime. What didn't tick you off that what you were writing was probably not a good look, honey darling? Baby?
I think she might have been reading Mortal Instruments.
Now,
oh, she was watching a little bit too much of them Vampire Knight.
Oh my god. Oh, I remember that. Oh god. Ugh.
I'm gonna go take a stand and I'm going to scream into a bucket.
Scream into a pillow. Do what Jacob
Please
does.
do, yeah.
I mean, I don't think Jacob brought the Travis or Caitlyn pillow, so.
I tried to bring the Caitlyn pillow, but that was that.
Oh, you Travis?
I was dissuaded from doing so because it apparently wouldn't fit. Because apparently that meant my suitcase would have been too big to fit on the plane.
You'll make such a wonderful bodyguard.
How do you guys get so many free plane trips or plane trips at a discount?
Who on earth said they were free?
Me to do so
I don't
much
know.
more.
I want to go on planes more often, but I can't.
I think that the person who does get discounts is actually my dad because he's flown so much because that used to be part of his job that he now has extra miles that he can use to cash in for other journeys.
Wait, you are part of his job?
No, I said he gets discounts because of what he used to do.
Oh, I was gonna be like, you were part of his job. When did this happen?
Is all that it'll take to convince you.
Alpha! Alpha!
He's gonna be annoyed.
Okay, so that's one thing this new VA can't do apparently is yell or project in this voice, which I can understand because when you start doing an impression, you haven't worked out all of the emotions yet in that voice, so you don't exactly have the wide range that you might necessarily need immediately.
What is it?
It's the Guardian forces. They're here. They're at the entrance. They have us surrounded.
Looks like you were wrong.
They'll be here any second. We need to leave.
Daniel. I was really worried that you were going to be a problem. I'm so glad things worked out, though. Hold him down. Daniel did a wonderful job, and
If only he didn't. If only Daniel could have overheard this part of the conversation where the Guardian forces were under Michael's control with his werewolf ears.
brought us just the person.
I swear.
Hold on, Ian knows? Like, he knows who the person is? So he can hear around, but the others can't?
No one else here, you omega turd.
The Omega
turd!
You know what? That might be the first time that Daniel's actively insulted Ian since the start of Phoenix Shop High Season 2, when he was still Surfer Boy. Daniel was still, like, you know, bullying Ian a bit.
Like, to which case I say, that
Omega
just
Turd
broke...
is the opposite of Alpha Chad in this universe.
Yeah, I know, but you just broke all the tension this scene had with 2 words. Yes, we have good rising tension.
Yeah.
And then just, Omega turn!
Yes, it's like, how dare you? Listen to me right now, and remember this for all time. I am the ultimate Alpha Chad. Like, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I know, it doesn't work at all. I was just thrown so far of this dramatic scene that I bounced off the Andromeda Galaxy.
Yeah. Also, YouTube, that was obviously an acted out bit. That was not actually threatening anyone, so please don't demonetize me.
Though someone will clip that later. I guarantee it.
Honestly, like, if they clip me saying I'm the ultimate Alpha Chad, then whatever. That's just funny out of context.
Always be seen as the runt of the pack.
At least I'm part of a pack. Last time I checked, you're missing your ears and tail.
Just you wait.
Last time I checked, his last pack tried to eat him alive.
Little pup. I know she's out there waiting for you.
Huh.
Alpha,
I mean, even if she... Yeah,
did you
well.
catch Daniel? Make sure to teach him how to be a part of the pack. I'm sure you can help him.
Oh, don't you worry.
Oh,
He'll
thanks,
learn
Tony.
how to obey. Now then.
Oh my goodness. Wait, I just realized. Okay, so either there are actual werewolf soldiers in the Guardian Forces. Like I said before, there weren't like any werewolf soldiers in the Guardian Forces at all. Either that or Ian has just acquired some of their armor, which is entirely possible.
I think Ian just acquired some of that armor.
Oh, and then like cut holes through. Which, by the way, I did say this in Minecraft Adventures. Cutting holes through metal is a very dangerous task, and it's probably going to end with them either having, like, you know, infections or just terrible, terrible cuts, like to their ears that are constantly moving. Poor them.
Like, unless they have some, you know, equipment or machinery to cut, you know, perfectly safe and appropriate holes.
I reckon Ian just jammed an emerald into the side of their helmets and just like scraped for a bit.
Long since I've been able to play with you.
Aphmau, you better stay hidden.
Can you imagine that she's like actually behind him? He's like, come out, wherever you... Oh, you're right there.
Oh my Shindu. Nani?
Oh my goodness, that needs to be like, from what's coming up in a second, that needs to be part of it.
If
That needs to be
you
like an
don't
edit.
show yourself, your little friend here is going to learn how to obey very quickly.
Instead of slowly.
Like, wouldn't it be fun? I think this would have been like a funny scene. Daniel went to go distract Ian so Aphmau could, you know, do the smart thing and escape.
Either that or just like knock out the guards and take Toby, I don't know.
Ian!
There are multiple smart things they could have done in this season. That's not confront Ian.
Yeah.
This scene right here is so rich with several story opportunities that Aphmau isn't going to do because we need to have Princess Peach in parallel in order for the plot to progress.
Yeah, it kind of feels like maybe maybe like the final scene of this episode was thought out of, or like the final scene of the next episode was thought out before like all the pieces were put into motion, and we're just like making sure that it happens.
I'm going to take a screenshot of this scene, and I'm going to put Aphmau in a Princess Peach dress.
Yes.
Yeah, but wait, I'll give it. There's a different screenshot that's better for this.
Aren't you happy to see me?
No, never. I never wanted to see your face again.
It's a song behind it.
Yet, here we are. We both know you'll end up by my side again. You should just save us the trouble and come to me.
Your confidence makes me want to puke. I will never allow myself to be used like that again.
It's interesting. Like Aphmau's trying to give like a heroic speech, but she never really was like that type of heroic character, and now she's essentially trying to compensate for that. So like, this is my moment. I must now channel my inner anime girl.
My inner anime girl. This can't go wrong.
Too
Like,
late.
if this was Minecraft Diaries Jess, who I lovingly refer to as Jessica, I could believe this scene happening, but Minecraft MyStreet Aphmau has never really been too confrontational. But whenever she does,
other than Phoenix Drop High.
yeah, other than Phoenix Drop High, she's rather nice, even when in a high confrontation situation.
I guess Falcon Claw too. Other than the education seasons.
Yeah, other than her younger years, she's typically very smart.
It's an eyeless freak. Rosie Closey took over directing for a bit.
Oh my god. He's in shadows. Oh, I love his effect.
Honestly, she could like whacked her evil. I love how that's the chorus line. Evil.
Oh, listen.
Evil.
Evil. I think it's evil, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, this music. I love the fact this music came back for this. The drama.
You fell to the effect of the Minecraft splash potion radius.
Just be glad that it wasn't a lingering splash potion.
That wasn't in this version yet.
That wasn't in this version yet.
Come to me.
Yes, my love.
Diva, evil.
Lucid, evil and lucid.
Right back where you belong. I've waited so long for this.
Now is the perfect time to commit stabby.
Yeah.
Stabby stab!
Come on, Aphmau, time to stab now.
And she obliged.
I mean, she did aim for the heart. She did. She went for a vulnerable area.
Struck in the heart, and you're
and
too
asked
late.
to blame.
Giving love a bad name.
You give alphas a bad name. That should have been my Ian song. Gosh darn it, that would have been great.
You could always do another one.
I could, yes.
After all, people do love your Aphmau, but people do love your Aphmau content, and there's nothing bad about, content farming. Aphmau
Indeed.
songs.
Indeed. Coming up soon, episode 150 something of Gacha Review. Oh, now he can free himself, of course.
Well, to be fair, in this case, all the werewolves were stunned by the fact that Ian got hurt. So
Alright.
they loosened their grip, and so it gave him a chance to get away.
Okay. Also, apparently some people had an issue with the way that Aphmau handled this point and how she didn't really aim the knife correctly. And Aphmau, Aphmau the person was on stream referred to the fact she's consciously making the effort and the thought process to stab someone. That takes a lot to actually do.
Yeah.
For most people anyway. So she's not really going to be like, I've waited for so long. Hold a second, cross-reference to calculate, carry the 1, and no, not quite. Not necessary.
I mean, technically, she aimed as very close to the heart, or very in the chest area where the heart would be. So you know.
Ooh, she even got the side right.
Aphmau?
I hope I got your heart.
She's a bit too low, though.
You'll have to try harder than that.
Okay, sure. I didn't mean right now.
To be fair, most people to stab someone's kind of a lot mentally. Honestly, it would take a lot for a normal person to be like, okay, I'm gonna stab someone. This is
If we ever do a MyStreet abridged, can we just like make that a joke? It's like, is that all you've got? No, that's not all you got. Okay, give me all right, let's take this from the top. I need a second. Allow me to breathe for a moment.
I do love to taunt more powerful women, especially when they're holding a knife to my chest.
No, in my chest. They're holding a knife inside my chest.
It's like, I am perfectly fine. Nothing is wrong with me. It's like he's like leaking blood. It's like, I can just go, guess what? I am stronger now. I can heal. Ah, no! That doesn't tell me it doesn't hurt.
You lost your weapon.
Oh, and and the knife is clean. I guess Ian has no blood anymore. He is now an angel.
Like,
Wow.
to which case, what? Everybody is just sitting around. Why doesn't, Toby do something about this?
They're in shock and they don't have any weapons, so yeah.
Aiden, let me tell you a secret. Fists are a weapon.
They don't have any super effective weapons.
They have a Daniel. Which
like,
I guess is, yeah.
Daniel is one of the weakest werewolves. He's on.
Like, Aiden, I will say this. Do a hell of a boss. Use a person to beat another person. Another individual can be a deadly weapon.
I don't. Depends on how heavy the individual is. We don't know if Daniel's heavy enough to lift a whole nother werewolf and slam them into each other.
Yeah, we need Kawaii Chan for that.
Aiden, I mean, throwing Daniel at.
Don't throw Daniel. He's an innocent soft boy.
I know, but
Hold on,
but that's what
didn't Aaron literally throw Daniel out of a window one time?
Yes, which is what I'm saying. Daniel could be a deadly weapon. Just pick him up and throw him at Ian to maybe get Aphmau out of Dodge, because she's right now in a terrible situation, and Toby just ran off without helping.
Although I will say, just saying, if I was in this situation, I would be no help in a fight. You know why? I can't punch, mostly with my right hand.
Yes,
which is my dominant hand. I broke my wrist there. I cannot punch very strong in there. Every time if I try punching in all seriousness, I will. It will be not very effective, and that's my dominant hand, so I jump to that hand.
Yes,
to do
Aiden,
it, so
but that is you. We're looking at two very strong men, adult men. Adult question mark men who are running away.
They're very much adult men.
To which they're running away like cowards from a woman in danger because they are in shock? Question mark. Go help her. You're not helping. None of you are helping.
Well, they don't really. I mean, they don't even know if they could beat Ian or any of the werewolves at all. To be fair,
like, you don't.
That never stopped Daniel before. In high school, he knew he couldn't beat Ian, but he challenged him anyway.
Yeah, like Aiden, you don't have to beat someone to distract them. They left without Aphmau.
So what? And then Aphmau leaves without, but then Aphmau gets to leave without Daniel or without Toby.
No, it's more like,
morally speaking, that's still just as terrible.
It's more like they land one, the implication is that one other person has to stay behind in her place or anything. That's not what we're getting at. We're getting at they can serve as a distraction. Then possibly one of land maybe a hit to stun him or something, and then they all escape.
Yeah,
Yes.
but in that time to go punch Ian,
Throw a
or
helmet
to
at
stun
him.
Ian, in that time to do that to Ian, there's like I think there's like 4 other werewolves. I think if I counted correctly.
Yes,
There's like
They're all on the
4
ground,
other
because
werewolves,
Toby knocked
4
them out.
other people you either have to stun
Yes,
or
Aiden.
have just as much time to recover emotionally
They
and
had.
physically, and
Aiden,
they can easily do
They
it.
were still on the ground, Aiden.
There was,
Yeah,
there
in the
was one of
time
them. There was
in the
one of
time
them
it
that was
takes
getting
for
up, but not the
Daniel or
others.
but here's the thing, in the time it takes for Toby and Daniel to get up and decide to do that is
So a few
just enough
seconds.
is equal to enough time for the stunned werewolves to do the same.
I don't know. I feel like running to a different location takes less time than recovering from, being stunned. Speaking from experience, as someone who recently ended up like basically stunning themselves through a fall, it took like a solid minute before I was able to move anywhere at all, and I probably should have waited longer, but it was the end of the night.
Didn't it
Yeah,
work?
there's
What
a
did you
lot of
do?
things I could have been.
I really do think you're look, okay, I'm just saying it's again, they're in a very tense situation. And again, no matter what they do, something's gonna go horrifically wrong.
Like, this is a tense
Okay, look,
situation.
there's literally 2 werewolves behind Ian. If Daniel were to run at Ian to punch him to knock him on the floor, these 2 werewolves in that time frame could have easily ran up to Daniel and stopped him from punching Ian, or could have watched him punch Ian, but then tackled Daniel, holding him to the floor, and Daniel couldn't escape unless you're saying Aphmau would punch them, and it would be a vicious cycle of everyone,
Or Toby. It depends.
Yeah,
it's
the point-
just sort of like a cycle of punching each other.
Yeah,
That's
it's just a cycle. I mean, from a realistic standpoint, it's literally a 5.
That's the
A
thing.
5 on 3, and keep in mind,
It's a
said
5.
3, and one of the 3 is
Like,
hurt.
I feel
one of the
like
3
Aiden,
is physically
stop.
weak. Yeah.
I feel like you're not hearing me out, my man.
You're right.
just-
They could just get out of the situation easily. It would be so easy. They just have to tickle Ian, obviously.
They can't get out of this situation easily.
Yeah, I'm saying they
merely,
can't.
I'm merely postulating, given the adequacy of hindsight, an alternate situation of which, if any degree of brain cells had been taken into this situation.
Okay, but I'm saying okay, this is a review format, and through saying how things could go, you're saying that they're making a hypothetical mistake here, and that Aphmau wrote this horribly, and this situation could easily have been avoided through them punching Ian, which opens up a Pandora's box to like 20 million factors that could go horrifically wrong and make things objectively worse or objectively better.
Like, Aiden, to which I also say, there were also earlier moments where I did point out that this situation has been avoidable in multiple different forms.
Oh, no, it can earlier, but like once Aphmau stabbed Ian, the situation can't really be changed that easily without going into completely unknown variables.
I understand, Aiden. I can dislike how Aphmau writes.
Yes, I know,
I can dislike how Aphmau writes.
I know.
Like, I think this situation was a mistake, and the confrontation with Ian could have been done later, and nothing would have been changed.
Well, I think
people have
changed,
walked.
Actually.
Like, a lot would change.
A lot would change.
Yeah, a lot would
we'll put a pin on
change.
that because we can come back to that for the other videos.
A lot would change, but they would probably, be approaching this situation with, I don't know, brain cells?
Listen, this situation is just kind of messy. It's a literal mess of emotions and terrible choices that everyone made.
Terrible choices.
Pretty much.
Choices.
But I don't think the choice to run away is a bad choice. It's just in this moment.
I think it would have been a smart choice, and I think Daniel and Toby leaving without her is a mistake.
Okay,
I
but
cannot
what
like
if
how
this
Aphmau is. I cannot like this scene, Aiden.
But what if this
I
hypothetically
don't like
happened?
this scene.
What if Daniel hypothetically jumped up to throw a punch at Ian to knock him down so Aphmau could escape. But then Ian, through being forever and potion enhanced, quickly turned, catch that punch, threw him to a wall. His other werewolf guards went there and held Ian down. Toby, wanting to help, tried to do something, but then the other two werewolves that he was closest to jumped up and tackled him. All characters have been kidnapped now and potentially forever potioned. Again,
this is my thought process whenever I'm doing what ifs.
Yeah,
again, I could literally build up a worse scenario.
You're building a worse scenario. Technically, what I was saying earlier is that Aphmau needs to be in peril in order for the story to continue.
Oh no, yeah.
Aphmau's agency needs to be taken away. I just don't like the way it's being handled.
Well, to
I
be
think
fair,
this
I
is
feel
dumb.
like yeah, okay, that's fair, but I don't think it's a mistake of them running away. It's a mistake that Aphmau tried this. Well, Aphmau the character. Okay, I'm referring to Aphmau the character in case. It's a mistake Aphmau tried this, but there's nothing. But at the same time, I do think in stories it's somewhat fine for characters to make stupid, moronic mistakes, but sometimes it can be a problem when it comes to that mistake. If they didn't make that mistake, it would change the story. But at the same time, mistakes do define characters. And
Mistakes do define characters, but there's a thing where I cannot like a choice being made. I don't like how this is being handled, and that's what I'm trying to say, Aiden. I think
okay, that's
this
fine.
scene is a moronic decision, and that Aphmau, essentially being damseled could have been handled in several much better ways.
True, but I don't know. Plus, also the characters don't know, but Ian has the ability to blast lasers, and even if Daniel punched Ian to the floor and Daniel helped Aphmau up and they started running, he could have Ian could have hypothetically blasted a laser through Daniel or Aphmau, injuring them severely.
Here's where my what if brain comes in. The later scene, a certain someone might have dodged if they had that information going ahead. But I will say no more about that because I want that to be, I don't want to delve into that before it happens.
But still, my thing of what is
to have so much
more applicable.
I think I skipped facts, and I was trying to go back to a line that.
I mean, keep in mind, I still really like this scene because it's a bit of a cathartic payoff. Because keep in mind, Aphmau never got that payoff with Ian.
Okay, rewinding again.
In the previous story.
I know. I just don't like it because of how many story-based mistakes are not being. I just don't like this scene. I just don't like how it's being handled for a ton of reasons.
I mean, how would you handle a scene like this, though?
Oh gosh darn it! Okay, I keep trying to set up this one joke, and every time someone talks over it.
Why didn't it work? What did you do?
I held my nose.
Actually, I think a potion is more like a liquid. I don't know. I think it's more like a liquid / a magic burst. I don't know.
It has smoke particles, so I guess maybe it starts off as liquid. Maybe it just evaporates on contact with the atmosphere.
And then it becomes like water vapor.
It has a very low boiling point.
It's it hits the ground, becomes like water vapor / air, and goes and then since your skin naturally absorbs water in the air, it just goes in your pores, affecting you like that.
Okay, but I mean, I couldn't make the joke. I retracted my skin. That doesn't work.
Yeah, but yeah, and also there's just another thing in this scene. Keep in mind, Aphmau. I think Aphmau literally has immunity for forever potions because she broke through it mentally. So I think she's got some sort of forever potion vaccine.
That's entirely possible. I don't think we actually hear her answer, but it
never gets clarified. But that's just my own personal speculation.
Okay.
No, I'm looking up Princess Peach dress JPEGs.
Okay, I'm rewinding the scene one last time because we might have missed the line which clarifies that.
Why didn't it work? What did you do?
Okay, no, we didn't. Never mind.
No, not yet. We need to wait for the right audience.
his hand is getting trigger happy. It's like, oh, no, it's okay. Oh, no, naughty.
What a shame. I wanted to have so much fun with you.
Also, isn't this the same, like, the death music?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this is Aaron's death music in season 4, but yes.
And Diaries.
Oh, this scene. Oof.
Yep, going back to the thing that I said to put a pin on. Will be soon. Here it comes.
If you see them coming towards the house, let me know. I'm gonna go watch the other side of the house to make sure the GF don't take an alternate route.
Right.
Are you going to be...
Imagine if they swapped roles, if Aaron had been the one to go and watch, and then it just turns out like the whole plan is messed up.
Well, there's multiple TVs in the house, so who knows? They may have been near a second TV.
Maybe.
Fine. Don't worry.
I'll be upstairs. Call me if anything happens.
Interrupt this program to bring you the following important announcement.
We interrupt this muted program to give you a program with audio.
Today, a third member of the Lycan family has been captured and executed. Rachel Lycan was
Okay, a third member has been captured, implying I guess they did have Derek, yeah.
detained this evening, and upon resisting arrest, she proceeded to go on a rampage. The Guardian forces had no choice but to take her down.
Oh, isn't that rather convenient? She was rampaging, allegedly.
Yeah, I'm just now imagining like Rachel Lycan, like, the refined businesswoman going on a rampage.
Yeah. Like, no offense, but I don't think Rachel could really do that much physical harm to anyone. Like, she's really not that dangerous.
Yes, she can. She's a werewolf.
Yeah, she's a werewolf, but she's not a werewolf who focuses on physical strength or does a lot of like fighting and stuff like that. So I imagine if she tried to rampage, at the very most, she would maybe knock down a few stands or maybe knock a few shelves off maybe from a store. But it wouldn't be anything on the level of, oh yes, she went on a rampage and people were injured and like the Guardian forces were itself pushed against a wall and hurt and stuff like that. Like, and no, I don't think none of that. Like, again, they should. Okay, like obviously they wanted her dead, but realistically speaking, they should have used like a stun gun or something. And also, why was she in the middle of the town? Like, they captured her already, unless they released her there, had her start to run, and then they shot her because she was going on a rampage allegedly. That's probably what happened.
That is a fair question, and that's a question I will answer after these messages.
Aaron Lycan is the last of the Lycan family alive and is still at large. If you have any information, do not hesitate to.
Boys, we visit this scene later.
Hold on. Wait, whoa. Hold a second. Was the camera panning down on one bookshelf but holding on the other? Roll that back. What was that?
Still at large. If you have any information, do not hesitate to.
Was it meant to like, or did like the scene fade at different like places at different times? Okay, watch. Okay, so look, the bookshelf, the white bookshelf is not moving, but the grey one is.
Oh,
wait,
no,
it's tilting. It's tilting. The white bookshelf tilts.
Yeah, I think it's just okay, keep in mind, I'm pretty sure these shots are there just to show how childish the room is before we see Aaron as a child, to really get us in the mindset of this is a literal
I understand
child.
why they're there. I'm just not understanding like why they're moving independently of each other.
Mommy? Yes, sweetheart? Are people afraid of me? Aaron, what?
Okay.
I think that's Joseph. Or
yes,
Joseph.
I know it's Joseph. I'm just trying. Surprisingly, it seems like Joseph might have been a bit too young to play this incarnation of Aaron, because it seems like he's probably about as old as Honestly, Joseph is now rather than at this
Why do
point.
you ask that?
Yeah, look, he's old enough to read that book. That probably doesn't have that many pictures.
Where did you get this? School? Sweetheart.
He either took it from a library, or he stole it from some kids.
They have full volumes like that in middle school libraries.
People just don't understand. They're not afraid of you. They're afraid of what they don't know.
And by extension, you.
I'm not scary.
A cute little guy like you. Scary.
Give it one episode.
Now go to bed, sweetheart. Mommy has work to do.
Weird pause between her actually tickling him.
Mommy,
Yes?
can you sleep with me tonight?
I'm sorry, son. I have business. If this was season 3, Rachel, then that would be what happens.
I can't, sweetheart. Mommy has work to do. Okay.
Oh, and it actually does. Okay, never mind.
Okay. Tomorrow. I promise.
Oh, you never held those promises, though.
No, she did not. I'm glad that was actually remembered.
Promise. Mommy will always be here for you.
You stupid potato. Just ruining all the emotional scenes. Oh my word. Okay, that's probably like the actual yeah. You know what? That scene does get the Levi drink for me. Oh, I just spilt water on myself.
No.
Okay, out of this episode, what else am I going to give the Levi drink to?
The death.
Out of this part.
Oh yeah.
Right, bottoms up.
Also, one thing I noticed about Aphmau's Nerve videos is she doesn't do the end card thing anymore, which I always found weird. She stopped doing end cards, man.
Yeah, that's because of watch retention. It's actually not that good to have a long end card like this, and people eventually clocked onto that.
Yeah,
Because the viewer retention percentage, it affects your average, but it affects your performance and impressions and everything.
Also, could you imagine just after a moment like that, it would be like, and I'm in this town. God, the beautiful stars happening.
No, it's just like, Mummy's got work. Mommy will always be here for you, sweetie. As long as you stay
be with me, I'm alright. I wanna hold you. Baby, I'm falling for ya.
Listen. If that happened, I would have absolutely died in my chair.
Yeah, like that song.
Don't get me wrong. These episodes already have tone problems. That would have made it worse.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, but now on to what I was going to say. The reason to put a pin in what I said before and what the subject of the theory that I was going to do. Remember, audience watching this, when I said to put a pin on when Michael said, is the footage ready? Make sure that he sees it and all of that stuff, send it to all of the TVs and all the places. Yeah. Like that footage being edited and something, and the fact that it was addressed in this specific episode, which ends on a broadcast that Michael, quote unquote, made sure Aaron saw. The means by which that he did that, that's Aiden's theory. But my theory, of course, was that, well, at least at the time, was that the entire death of Rachel Lycan was just a hoax and a fabrication, and that never actually took place. Until, of course, we see later that she's being held, and held at gunpoint. We don't see anything happen to her, but it's implied that it was right before an execution.
Yeah.
So until that point, it actually held a lot of water. That there was some hope that she actually wasn't, she hadn't gone the way of what we thought Melissa did. As it turns out, we got the wrong Lycan that was alive still.
I'm sorry though, but I think Rachel's death scene should have been shown. I'm upset that it wasn't. Like
what you mean? Hold on, shown in the episode or shown in the broadcast?
Shown in the episode or broadcast. I don't care.
I'm just checking. I'm just checking because those are two different things.
I literally I wanted the death scene to be shown if they're gonna kill her off. If you're gonna kill off a character, I like to see a bit of a death scene.
That's precisely why I thought that they didn't. That's why I was disappointed that they built up that they killed off Melissa but didn't, and I was disappointed to the fact that they built up they didn't kill off Rachel but did. They got those backwards. If only we'd seen Rachel at the end of the season and other Melissa, that would have made perfect sense.
To which case, Aiden, I bring up one thing. And it is a very popular trope. Fake out death.
Yeah.
I think if there's another season, Melissa will appear somewhere. Not Melissa.
Rachel.
No, I think Rachel's actually dead. They just never showed her death scene.
Who knows? Maybe she's busy tracking down, Zach and Elizabeth.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You don't think so, but believe it or not, if there isn't a dead body shown on screen, I don't believe it. Because I've seen too many animes to not understand how this trope works.
Yeah, like remember when like everyone was crying over Aaron's death in season 4 for like 2 days until the next episode came out, and he was he was basically fine. I mean, he wasn't fine, but he became fine.
Yeah, it is a trope where people say, "Oh, main character fell off a cliff, but it's okay. He gets better later."
Do you think that's why they specifically have a scene of Blaze not being allowed to return? Specifically, so it was like, by the way, audience, this is the one. This is the permadeath. This is the one that counts. Make sure you remember this. Blaze is not coming back. Anyone else is up in the air. I do whatever the heck I want. But this guy, he's super dead.
Yeah, like I've been watching a lot of overly sarcastic productions, particularly the Fake Out Deaths episode. And since there wasn't Rachel's body shown on screen, I don't believe that this death is going to be permanent. I could be wrong. I have been wrong before.
Honestly, if you are wrong, chances are that you're only wrong because Jess forgot about it in the 5 years that have transpired since.
To which case, that would have been funny.
I mean, there's just another thing to add to the retcon song. At some point, I need to do, like, as far as Aphmau content goes, I need to do, like, another video of, like, every plot point that was abandoned in MyStreet.
Wait, what if you did a parody of what's it called? Wait, we didn't start the fire. What if you did a parody of We Didn't Start the Fire? We didn't start the retcon.
Solve the plot points. But we got them going, but the solution's not showing. That's too many syllables, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, we just do a parody of that where it's like when they start listing stuff, we list a bunch of the plot holes and the plot points that are abandoned.
That would be amazing. Yes. I'm reaching out to all of the biggest Aphmau fans, BB, Akira, like everyone, just to make sure. Don't forget anything. William.
Exactly.
This episode is great. It sets up so many things, but it also sets up so many things that I hate.
Yeah, it suffers from what a lot of Aphmau 2-parters end up suffering from. Like I say, it's every time we do like a 2-parter review. Most of the time, like if it's a 3-part, it's the middle episode that's the weakest. But if it's a 2-parter, it's always the first one.
Well, the problem with Aphmau 3-parters is the middle episode was always filler and relatively pointless to the overall arc. Like a lot of like the Aphmau 3-parters could have either been condensed to like 1 or 2 scenes, just so you can move on, or
I think that's why she phased them out. I imagine that's why she phased them out and replaced them with 2-parters.
Yeah, but the way 2-parters works in Aphmau normally is like the first episode is mostly just setup. The second episode is payoff to all that setup and the trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like what also one thing I've noticed is that the payoff tends to be hit or miss. I guess they never miss, huh?
They certainly do miss, but will they miss next time? Well, I guess we'll find out right now if
pretty
you're watching this
soon.
on Twitch, but tomorrow if you're watching this on YouTube. So for now, I shall say, see those people never same time, same place, 5 years later. Until then, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. So have it done already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.